Alright, welcome back to Martial Artistry. In this tutorial, we're going to be creating a galaxy from scratch. No source picture, just making something up out of our minds. Here, we're just taking some Createx Opaque Black Paint and base coating. It took several layers, maybe 3 layers worth of paint. Now here we're taking some white opaque paint and a toothbrush and just splattering stars in our background, kind of building up underneath our nebula, where our nebula will go. You can add as many or as little stars as you want. You have total freedom. You can cover as much as you want or as little as you want. Here we're just going in with some opaque white paint and some 4011 and highlighting some of our stars, giving very different sizes, shapes, intensity of the paint. Some of these you can tint with color during a later step. Lately, I've been just wanting to add comets into my designs. It's something that I wasn't very good at when I very first started. It took some practice to get the concept of layering it and not trying to get it all in one shot. With airbrushing, you're going to find that you'll be layering almost every project multiple times. That's the best way to get the maximum amount of details, is just taking your time and layering up. Here we're building our nebula by doing exactly that. We've got some very thinned out opaque white paint, again mixed with 4011 reducer, so that I can layer this nebula the way that I choose. There is no rhyme or reason to where I'm placing these clouds. It's just I've got an idea in my head of how I'd like it to look. So I'm taking all kinds of different materials to create textures within our nebula. Here you can see I'm using an old section of a torn up Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm bouncing back and forth between that and my Gerald Mendez textured effects stencils. I love these textured effects stencils because they give me so many different ways of adding cloud-like simulated effects. You can use these as much or as little as you want. I usually kind of rough in with these stencils and then come back in with some freehand later. If you've stuck around to this point, we very, very much appreciate you, and take time to go hit that like button and hit subscribe for future videos. We're going to be uploading on Fridays every week to coincide with our upload date at martialartistry.com. Every week we're uploading new designs. We've got new artwork, canvas paintings, as well as new tumblers. I'm trying to stay consistent and uploading 1 tumbler per week that is accompanied by a video. We're still just building out our nebula and our clouds, just continuing to add in texture little bits at a time. Don't overdo it. Don't try to get it all in one shot. You're gonna have to layer this out. For me, I'm doing this with the intention of knowing that I will cover all of this with color. And then we'll come back again with a second round of highlights. So here you can see me adding a little bit of freehand texture, but I'm still just building out this scene just the way that I want it to look. This is where you really get to have fun and make the design your own. I like to add in a lot of clouds, a lot of stars. I'll add in planets from time to time. However, that portion of the process can be done a couple of different ways. This is one of the ways that I just quickly add in planets. I'll use a circle template. I'll add in some texture with my texture effects stencils, and then I'll go back in with some freehand airbrushing to just kind of bring it together. Later in the process, you'll see where I add color to this so that the planet looks more three-dimensional. In our next upcoming video, I'm going to show you a different format of how to do this exact same process with an HD stencil. And I think what I'm going to do next week is switch from a tumbler surface to a flat surface so that I can give more of a demonstration of how to accomplish some of these details where you can actually watch me do the full process instead of having to skip forward and back because it's difficult to see what I'm doing on a round surface. We're still working through getting a better camera set up as well as more equipment, but shout out to Martial Artistry for being able to help us share this information with you. We couldn't do these videos without the help of Martial Artistry, so we want to make sure that we give them a shout out every week. Please make sure to stop by and visit over at martialartistry.com. We've got new tumblers every week. We've also got new canvas paintings coming out almost every week now. I'm trying to balance between tumblers and commissions and just new artwork. So if there's something that you'd like to see us create, definitely leave it in the comments. I try to make sure that I respond to every comment, so you can get at us on every platform: Fanbase, YouTube, Insta, TikTok, Facebook. We're on all platforms under Martial Artistry. So please feel free to leave us a line sometime. We love getting suggestions from our fans because we have a lot of things in common in terms of things that we'd like to see done. I've got some upcoming anime tumblers that will be coming out soon. I've also got a new series of animal tattoo tumblers that I'm going to be doing. Here you can see I've added some color in the background now. I forgot to hit record. My apologies. This is the reason why I said I am going to be doing a full video on canvas instead of doing it on a tumbler. You're going to get more of an idea of how I built this scene out to this point. We're just going back and adding some highlights to this nebula to make it stand out a little bit more. This is what I was describing early in the video, where you'll see me add a little more freehand airbrushing on top of what we've already tinted with color. As always, if you've made it to this point of the video, I very much appreciate you and thank you very much. We're going to be uploading, as I mentioned, on every Friday. We'll also be adding tumblers once a week, every Friday at martialartistry.com. If you have any questions, please feel to leave me a message. You can always DM me on any platform. Again, thank you so much for staying tuned until the end, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.